Welcome to the overview of LexisNexis Crash Designer, a portion of LexisNexis CopLogic. LexisNexis Crash Designer is a time-saving diagramming solution that helps you create accurate diagrams for crash reports. With LexisNexis Crash Designer, you can quickly recreate complex, detailed accident scenes with a few simple clicks. In this video, we will review the components of LexisNexis Crash Designer, go over multiple ways to begin a crash diagram, use manipulation handles to edit elements, and observe the recreation of an accident scene. Let's get started. Let's go over some of the components of the Crash Designer screen. The blue action bar appears at the top of the screen. This bar contains actions that are always available throughout your creation session. You can hover over any tool in any toolbar to view a tooltip. Most of these tools are self-explanatory. We'll go over some of them now. Import an image from your computer directly onto the canvas. Export your diagram to a graphic file format on your computer. Use the Set Location icon to identify a location by address, intersection, or landmark, and import a map of that location in your diagram. Use the chalkboard icon to completely erase the current diagram and start over. Use the Stacked Lines icon to access existing templates, which can help you get started with creating a diagram. The actions on the right side of the action bar pertain to the properties of the canvas. Use the grid icon to toggle the measurement grid. This grid can make it easier to align items on your crash diagram. Use the moon icon to toggle night mode. Turning on night mode darkens your screen so that your vision is not impaired by the light of the computer screen in darkened surroundings. Use the A+ and A- icons to enlarge or diminish all user-entered text currently on the canvas. Use the magnifying glass icons to zoom into or out of the canvas. Use this icon to adjust your entire diagram to fit onto the screen. View and edit your Crash Designer settings, such as language preference, by using the gear icon. Beneath the action bar is a bar that contains some of the most commonly used tools. Here, you can find common roadway types that you can draw onto your diagram. Draw common shapes to indicate items that may not be included in the current library of objects. Examples include cable boxes or road debris. Select and arrange items. Add and edit textual features. And save your current diagram as a template for future use. Use the padlock icon to lock the background of your crash scene in place while you maneuver objects on the canvas to your preference. The third bar contains a subset of the category of items chosen in the vertical menu. Currently, the bar contains road types, but if we choose the Vehicles section and then Passengers, the bar changes to reflect the objects within the selected section. Now that you're familiar with the tools available, let's go over multiple ways to begin creating a crash scene. There are a few ways to begin creating a crash diagram. Firstly, you could begin with the Set Location tool. Using this tool, simply enter an address, intersection, or landmark. Then select the type of view that works best for your needs. Once the imagery appears on your screen, you can begin recreating the crash using the available toolset. Secondly, you can begin creating a diagram using the Templates option. Several predefined interchanges, intersections, and structures already exist as templates. Simply choose one and click Insert to add it to the canvas. and then begin adding onto it. Thirdly, you can begin by importing any saved image and then adding details onto it. And finally, you can begin by using any of the roadway tools and building your scene from there. We will draw a roundabout using the roundabout icon. We will also draw some roads leading into the roundabout. Notice how the pieces interact as we move the road closer to the roundabout. We will draw 2 more roads intersecting with the roundabout. Finally, we'll add a vehicle to the scene. Notice the square, circle, and cross manipulator handles that appear when you select an object on the canvas. Let's review how to use these handles to shape and move the elements specifically to your needs. Roads are made longer by clicking the cross handle at the end of a road. Use the square handles to adjust the point between the 2 nearest circle handles. Use the circle handles to manipulate the curve between the 2 nearest square handles. Clicking the Properties icon brings up options specific to the selected object. With the street selected, we have options to add lanes, medians, and splitters, and change line colors, as well as add text and adjust its properties. We will name another street too. This one is called Yellow Brick Road. We will make this text red as well. With the vehicle selected, we have options to change its color, add text, and adjust its size. We'll change this car's color to blue. Now, let's observe how a crash scene might be recreated in Crash Designer. We want to depict the scene of an accident involving 1 car, 1 pedestrian, and 1 eyewitness in a business district. In our example, we'll use the Set Location tool to acquire a map of an intersection. We will select a display type that works best for our needs. We will zoom out and pan the map. With the map as our guide, we'll begin drawing the intersection of roads involved in the crash. Using the Street tool, we will draw one of the main roads. Let's click the road, then bring up its properties. By default, the Street tool draws a 2-lane street. We can change it to a 1-lane street by changing the number of lanes in the Lanes field of the Properties box to 1. We'll also adjust the lane width and maneuver the road accordingly. We'll add 3 additional roads of the same type, again using the map as a guide. Now let's label the roads using the Text Box tool. Using this tool allows us to move the text around on our canvas. First, we'll draw a text box anywhere on the canvas. We'll type Windward Parkway in the text field of the Properties box that appears. Now we'll move the label to the appropriate location. Using the same process, we'll add road labels to the roads involved. It's important to understand the direction of traffic at this intersection. We can indicate traffic flow by including directional arrows on our design. Directional arrows are found in the Lane Markers section on the vertical menu. We'll add a straight arrow and move and adjust its size. We need 4 direction indicators, so we can copy and paste the same arrow 4 times, adjusting them accordingly. Now, let's add the vehicle involved in the accident. The pedestrian involved in the accident was using a crosswalk at the intersection. We will use the crosswalk tool under roadway types to draw the crosswalk in our diagram. We'll draw the downed pedestrian by using the tools in the Accident Scene section. Now let's include the building at the corner of Windward Parkway and Alderman Drive. We'll choose the building top view element and place it in the proper location, adjusting it accordingly. Now we'll return to the Accident Scene section and choose the standing person icon to represent the eyewitness, a janitor who was standing outside the building. Now let's change the car color to yellow by using the Properties box and changing the fill color to yellow. Let's add some callouts to further identify the elements on the canvas. We'll start by selecting the callout tool and creating a callout for the vehicle by first clicking it, then dragging the callout to the desired location. We'll enter some text in the text field of the Properties box. We'll also create a callout for the pedestrian. And enter text in the Properties box. We'll also identify the eyewitness with a callout. With our crash diagram complete, we can export it as a graphic. If you're using the embedded version of Crash Diagram, you have the option to save the diagram into the crash report you're authoring. We'll use the Export as Image tool to start the export process. We'll choose a file type and click OK. Then save it to a location on the computer. Because we want this diagram to be available to others using Crash Diagram, we will also save it as a template. Please note that when you save a diagram that is based on a map, like this one is, your saved template will include only the elements you've drawn and not the background map. We'll begin by clicking the Template button on the toolbar. We'll give the template a name. Notice in the Preview box that the template preview displays the elements drawn and does not include the area map. We also have the option to select the objects we want to be a part of the template by deselecting the options in the Objects field. In our example, we want to keep all of the objects. Finally, we'll click Save. We have successfully created our crash diagram, saved it as a graphic, and also saved it as a template. Thank you for watching this video. We hope that this video was helpful in demonstrating how to get started with Crash Designer. This diagramming tool provides many options for graphically recreating an accident scene, and we encourage you to explore these powerful features on your own.